Welcome back. The Department of Public Enterprises proposes an establishment of a state-owned asset management company to improve oversight and to bring stability to state-owned companies while it will act as an investor and a shareholder. Now, the DPE made the recommendation to the National Council of Provinces when they convened virtually to discuss measures to be taken in order to improve oversight of SOEs. The proposed management company would be owned by the government through the DPE or the Presidency, with a long-term strategy to have the SOEs report directly to the President. Now, the meeting discussed the dire state of SOEs, and this, of course, at the back of the collapse of South African Airways and SA Express and the near collapse of other entities such as Denel and Alexkor. NCOP Chair of the Public Enterprises and Communication Committee, Tshitereke Baldwin Matibe, joins us now to have a further discussion about this. Mr. Matibe, good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Sakina, and good morning to the viewers. I hear the viewers are nominating you to be Chief Justice. Good luck on the nomination.
And of course, you have just the most infectious laughter. But yeah, we'll continue seeing what the viewers have to say about their choice and who they think. But yeah, we're watching that one. Mr. Matibe, now, discussions yesterday, very interesting, the proposal being put forward. But the discussions with the DPE looked at measures to improve oversight in the main over state-owned companies. Now, firstly, what was the update on the running of these SOEs, given the years of almost total collapse of some and a near collapse of other entities?
Thank you very much, Sakina. I think one of the key issues that we put forward as the Select Committee on Public Enterprise is to say, looking at the challenges that the entities has been facing for the past years, what are the key issues that we need to do as the Select Committee in order to avoid such challenges? So we requested the department to come forward and put to the committee to say what are the measures that they are putting forward in order to improve oversight, because one of the key challenges that we see as the Select Committee is that challenges happen in the entities because of the lack of oversight. And oversight has got different levels. There is a level of us as the Select Committee and Parliament. There is the level of the shareholder or the department, and there is a level of the board, and as well as senior management in the entities. So we wanted to streamline that oversight so that we don't see the recur of challenges that all these entities has received. And one of the issues that they briefed us as the Select Committee was that indeed the Presidency has established the SOE Council in order to try and streamline and look at what are the areas that needs improvement in terms of SOEs. One of the key issues that came to our attention was the reprioritization and reconfiguration of the SOEs so that we streamline them in line with, for example, energy complex, your transportation and logistics, mining, defense, ICT. We streamline them, try and reprioritize and reconfigure them. That is when this proposed new asset management state-owned company comes in.
And we'll come to the modalities in a moment, but which ones of these state-owned entities had actually improved and which ones are still in dire straits?
All these entities are having challenges. The challenges are at different levels. At energy level, you see your Eskom is still stabilizing and going through some challenges, but we look at the stability is better now. At transport, we have got Transnet is still also having some challenges, but it is also stabilizing. In the mining, you have got Alexkor, as well as SAFCOL. Those are entities, some of them are still going through a lot of challenges, but the work that we are doing as Parliament is to try and assist the department in terms of oversight as well as the boards, so that all these entities are stabilized. If they are not stabilized, we cannot expect to grow the economy. For example, if Eskom is not stabilized, the economy cannot grow.
So, what is Parliament's view on the DPE's proposal of the state-owned management company? And how is this likely to help stabilize these state-owned companies?
The proposal put forward by the department is that while they are reprioritizing and reconfiguring these state-owned entities, it will mean that some of the entities will be merged. And while they're being merged, it means the assets that will need to be looked at, either to be disposed of or to be looked at in another way to try and improve the economy. So you need that diversified portfolio of quality assets that they are put together, so that they also try and improve in the economy. They also try and improve in the employment opportunities for our people.
Mr. Matibe, when you say disposed of, do you mean privatization of some of these state-owned entities? How exactly is this state-owned company envisaged to work?
We don't mean privatization. We are saying the entities, in terms of the proposal put forward by the department, is that there are entities that are doing the same work. And if you merge those entities, it means there will be assets that will be lying out there because they are merged, and there was a duplication of the assets in terms of those entities, meaning that those assets that are there will need to be look at evaluating them, look at how those assets can be used to try and grow the economy.
So given the abject failure and the dismal performance we've seen to date of how state-owned companies have been run, because that's how they find themselves in the situation that they are in. If you had this state-owned management company, how will it perform differently from what has been the performance of state-owned companies in South Africa to date?
Our expectation is that we must not move from the premise of saying because we failed previously, we are going to fail forever. Otherwise, we can't grow the economy of this country, meaning that if we put measures in place in terms of measures that assist in terms of oversight at the entity level, appoint the correct board members, appoint the correct executive in the entities, oversight done by the department as the shareholder, and oversight done by us as the portfolio committee and the select committee, we expect that improvement needs to happen, because it is up to all of us. If the entities are not working and the economy is not growing, unemployment will increase, poverty and inequality will increase. So it is up to all of us, from Parliament side to the department side to the entities themselves, so that we need to improve, so that this economy needs to grow. When it grows, it needs to absorb our young people. In terms of
but I'm trying to understand, Mr. Matibe, exactly how this is going to happen. You speak about the appointment of boards, for example. How is this going to be done? Who will be responsible for appointing board members and executives to this entity?
The department has put forward the overarching legislation that will govern all these things in terms of appointment of boards, in terms of the appointment of the executive by the board. So they said to us as the select committee, we are still tabling the overarching legislation that deals with that to cabinet, and it will be put to us as parliament in the next year. So all that will assist in terms, you will have a governance framework, institutional arrangements, and also look at the funding models that the SOEs will have. That policy framework must be able to deal with that, the institutional arrangement, the governance framework that will assist so that we improve the performance of the SOEs. If we don't, it means our economy will not grow.
And totally agree with you. The performance has to be improved, Mr. Matibe. I'm just not quite getting there, because what you mentioned right now already exists, doesn't it?
No, we in terms of the briefing that we received from the department is that they are going to put to cabinet the legislation that will deal with all those issues around governance, around institutional arrangements, around the SOEs developmental mandates, as well as the funding of the SOEs, because we want to avoid a situation where we stick to the traditional funding and look at how we can improve funding so that we don't put a strain on the fiscus and give challenges to the fiscus.
So, speaking to that developmental imperative that you touch on, the explanatory notes on the Parliamentary Monitoring Group, it says that its mandate will be to transform economies, to grow middle-class income populations, to deepen competitive advantages. So, explain to us how, please.
The reality is that for us to grow the economy, you can't be doing the same thing that you have been doing and the economy was not growing. You need to be innovative, and part of the innovation is to say, what is it that we need to do in order to grow the economy? What are the governance framework that needs to be put together in the SOEs, in terms of the boards, their roles, as well as the relationship with the shareholder representatives? What are the institutional arrangements? Meaning that you need to focus on the structure of oversight function, the role of different institutions within the oversight model. If that happens, it means there will be improvement in the SOEs. And if that improvement happens, it means even the economy will grow.
So just before we go, I have to ask you about Parliament's view on the DPE's decision with regard to the approval of the Takatso Consortium as SAA's equity partner. So there have been quite a few developments around this one. Was this discussed? Also, Takatso Consortium's purchase of 51% stake of SAA as the equity partner at 3 billion rand. Your view on that, please.
You know, looking at the challenges that the SOEs are having, that's why we need equity partners that will be able to assist, inject equity in terms of the assistance to the SOEs. If that does not happen, you will then put a strain on the fiscus. So we have been briefed by the department in relation to that, and we have seen that is why we are putting together a policy that will look at the institutional arrangements of all the SOEs. If that does not happen, it means you will experience the same challenges that you experienced before. You need to put together new arrangements in terms of the governance framework, in terms of the institutional arrangements in all those SOEs, so that you don't experience the challenges that was experienced by other entities.
So are you saying, Mr. Matibe, that the Select Committee, that Parliament is happy with that 3 billion rand price tag on a 51% stake of SOE when the taxpayer has forked out more than 30 billion rand to keep that entity afloat for a number of years?
For the situation as we speak now, we had to choose between either not having being part of the SAA and liquidate it. That was the choice that the department had to make, and we fully support whatever effort is made so that employment opportunities are not dwindled in all these state-owned entities. Otherwise, if our people are unemployed, if you look at the unemployment rate, Sakina, is quite high, and if we increase and all these entities are liquidated, it means unemployment will then again increase. So whatever efforts that we put together so that we assist all these entities so that they stay afloat is more than welcome, Sakina.
Mr. Matibe, how many employees lost their jobs as a result of the SAA process, SA Express, and now Mango? How many employees actually lost their jobs?
That is why we are putting, Sakina, if we don't, Sakina, put together a governance framework, the institutional arrangements that will assist so that we don't experience the same challenges that was experienced in SA Express, that was experienced in SAA. We will have challenges in all these entities. So the framework that we're putting in place is for us to avoid that situation and to say we have gone through these challenges in these entities, what needs to be done? Because that is what we need to do. Look forward, assist as the Select Committee, put oversight model that will assist so that we don't experience the same challenges that we experience.
But you didn't cover yourself in glory in your oversight role, Mr. Matibe, because there were some glaring issues with regard when SAA was placed under business rescue. The question was asked already at that time about Mango. When SAA was placed under business rescue, why were the subsidiaries not a part of that? Then there was money that was allocated to Mango that never reached Mango. Did the Select Committee actually follow up? Did you ask the questions as to what happened, why another carrier was allowed to now have to enter a business rescue? Have you guys discussed all of these matters?
We as the Select Committee, we always ask the department to come and put forward all the challenges, because we are there to try and allocate money to try and rescue all these entities. And indeed, as the Select Committee, we have been following up on all these issues as you put forward, again.
We unfortunately have to leave it there for today, but thank you so much for your time this morning. NCOP Chair of the Public Enterprise and Communications Committee, Mr. Tshitereke Baldwin Matibe, discussing a proposal presented by the Department of Public Enterprises of a 100% state-owned asset management company. And no doubt we'll unpack this further at a later stage. Let's take a quick break.